One of the questions that I get asked by people is, what is your position on Sadc? What is happening? What do you know what is happening? And my answer to this, let me give you a detailed answer based on what I've learned. It's important to learn, right? I have learned about what is called a Westphalia Treaty. Go and read it up on Google. A Westphalia Treaty says that a country have what is called self-determination, a word that our former president used to say, we are a nation, our land is our sovereignty. Sovereignty. I think you know about that word. So what this means is that no country or no institution is allowed to interfere with the sovereignty of another country. How does that happen? So part of the Westphalia Treaty, which was drafted in 1648, by the way, says that a country is supposed to do what are called credible, free. It's supposed to have a president through a free and a credible election. The problem that we have with our own, it was not declared free and credible. But where does it then gets cockier, or where it gets tricky? The moment you participate in an election that you know that it is not going to be free and fair, and it might not be able to produce a credible result, you have already legitimized the institution. So the mistake that Triple C did, or Nelson Chamisa did, getting into this election was to participate in the election. Had he withdrawn, like what Morgan Tsvangirai did in 2008, it was going to stop this legitimacy. So that was the thing. So now one might be asked, why did they do it? What assurance they had? Because a lot of people were saying that with this strategic ambiguity and you don't have enough money to pay your election agents, how sure are you that you're going to win the elections? Fair enough. That is one of the things that people said, let's not get into this election. And you recall Ibo Mandaza saying this, that Nelson Chamisa was confronted by some of the people that are insulting even the likes of Washington, the likes of Tendai BT, to say, let's not get into these elections, or we don't have enough resources. The delimitation process, Zeki is not tilting on our favor, and a whole lot of drama. And Nelson Chamisa said, we're going for the election. God will protect it. God is in it. And people went for it and said, let's go for it. That was the big mistake. And on the day of the election, when you know what happened between Harare and, ballot box is not available, and you know that drama, the guy said, let's pull out of the election now. And he said, no, let's go for it. So those are the what can I say, biggest blunders that were made. Whether it was deliberate to try and prove to the world that free elections in Zimbabwe are always contentious. But now the question now is, where will Sadc come in? Well, Sadc is actually hamstrung now because they participated in the election and they legitimized it. And worse still, what Sadc recommended to be done was not done. Sadc recommended that they must explore domestic remedies, all of the domestic remedies. That's what the Sadc SEOM report says, what Nevas Mumba said. The expectation that was there on the Triple C side was that on the Sadc side, or on the Sadc leaders, they were going then to, send some cold shoulders to the president and then force him probably to a negotiating table. Well, that didn't happen. He's got friends around Sadc. And what then happened, what then made it even worse was the emergence of Sengezo Chabang. And after the emergence of Sengezo Chabang, that even forced Nelson Chamisa to quit the party that was the election vehicle for 2023. You know what that means? It means that there is not going to be elections. If that happens, I'm betting my $100. If that happens, I'm betting my $100. Every subscriber who's going to say, I bet my $100. Let's make a bet. 30 June 2024. Let's see if elections are going to happen, being cascaded by Sadc. So the question now to everyone's mind is, so where is this rumor coming from? I don't know. But if that rumor comes true, right? The question now is, if that rumor comes true, are we going to see an election that is going to happen between DAS and the ZANU-PF? The answer is no. DAS was not, or Democratic Alliance, what was the Blue Movement, was not part of the election. So why do they have to contest in a election rerun? And even if that happens, right? The question now is, what about the MPs that are in parliament now? Are you going to withdraw all of them? And they are going to be withdrawn by who? Who has got the authority to do that? Because some of the MPs, they use their own hard-earned money to be in parliament. So they are not going to pull out. They're not going to pull out. Right now, even the days when Nelson Chamisa resigned, some people have not pulled out. Only 2 MPs have pulled out. So the question now is, if we're going to go to election and SADC going to interfere and we're going to give election victory to Chamisa, how is that going to turn out when we have clear factions that are Chamisa and the ones that are Sengezo Chabangu, Roshman, Mubet, and Abit, and all of that? So that is my submission. I don't think we're going to have an election rerun based on these theories. But who knows? Maybe a miracle might happen. Who knows?